Okay, so it is July 16, 2026, and once again, Charles Perry is interfering, and that got us intel. So, who is getting the information from you to me? How much is true? How much is not true, Mr. Perry? What is the one last thing we need so that they are done investigating you and Judge Egan and all your little minions and your little thug buddies and your little organized crime bullshit? What's the one thing they need to start making arrests? What is it? What's the one thing they need? And they wrap it up and they start arresting people. Charles, what is it? It's just one thing. There's going to be the one final thing they need, and they start getting arrest warrants signed, and you go to jail. And that is what everybody wants, by the way. That's what everybody wants. We get the help, you don't. Do you have a name of anybody investigating so that you can interfere? Do you have even one name? It's 15 years of this. It's 15 years of this. McNamara email was the first you know of, but not the first. But that is dated October 29th, 2015. And David Robertson came to my work after that email was sent and said, I want to know who is helping you. And if you tell me that, I'll tell you who your real parents are. And I leaned into his ear and I said, go fuck yourself. And I walked off, and that was the very last thing I said face to face to Mr. Robertson. After that, we got a fuck ton of intel because he thought I was kidding. All those names, you have not even one. I have all these names of your people. These are not people I know. These are your people. Charles Perry comes where I am. He poses an imminent threat and a very big, grave danger to me and my son. Clearly, when I left Lubbock in November 2013, and moved to the Dallas area and had to start all over again. My son's education is interrupted. He was a minor child in my care at the time. I'm trying to keep him safe. We're trying to get away from a monster, a boogeyman. I define how I see him. No one else. Nobody else. I define how I see the guy. He's creepy. He's disgusting. He gives everybody the heebie-jeebies. He makes people's stomach turn. And he's nasty, gross, ugly, lazy, fat, slob, monster with no life. Is embarrassing to me. The things he does, no normal person could think up if they had to. Do you know how many people in Congress, Charles, have said that? How does anybody think that up? How does somebody's mind go that far south and get that sick and twisted that they can even think that up to do that to her or her kid every day, all day long, where she is? How does somebody's mind go that demented? We don't know. We're not like them. We have normal minds. We can't think stuff like that up. You'll have to ask him. Great. Maybe we should have a congressional hearing and explore the misuse of tax dollars to human traffic people and commit human rights violations, and put some of these locals on the public stand to explain to the American people why they did what they did. And here's why there are folks who think you need to be defunded since you can't do your job. Since you want to be the bitch of a sex weirdo and you want to use tax dollars to commit major crimes, maybe you need to explain that to the citizens you stole money from. To hurt people, to murder, to rape, to rob, to steal, to kill, to destroy, to cheat and lie. Officer. Corrupt. Because you know what? Corruption's not popular anymore, nor is misogyny. We got a defunding police movement to prove that, and we got a Me Too movement to prove misogyny is no longer popular. Maybe it was at one time. It is certainly not now. This is the evidence. Who is getting that information from you to me? What court orders are in place to get that information, George and Keith? What do you know? Are you in the need to know? Do you know? What about this? Code words they use to label their crime: assault, battery, interfering, butting in, sex offenses. This article here by Fox News is an interview of a stakeholder in the fight against human trafficking, and he says family needs to be held accountable with criminal charges for being complicit in the crime of coercion in human trafficking. Do you think he's the only one that thinks that? I'm not for defunding police, but there are people that are. There was a loud message sent to police: you better fucking do your job. Or there are people who will use your failure to defund you and you're gone. Is that what you want? That's certainly not what we want. So what's our choice? What is our choice? Do we allow you to continue to not do your job and to be corrupt and to piss all the wrong people off when you do that? And then there's a defunding police movement. Now you gave them a stick to beat you with. Or do we put a stop to the corruption so they can't do that? You tell us. You know everything. You tell us. What cops are working this case? How many different agencies are involved? What court orders are in place that got this information? What does it mean that we have it? You've had 15 years to figure out what it means that we have this, and you can tell that David Robertson and Charles Perry have not a clue. No idea what it means that we have all this. Now, you continue to make phone calls asking people to come talk to me and tell me I can't do my job. Do it. Have them come talk to me and tell me I can't do my job. And watch what the guys do to you. Do it, Charles. You keep talking about it. Quit talking about it and just do it. You know where I am, peep and creep. Just have them come tell me I can't do my job. I dare you. Go ahead, do it. That might be the one last thing they need to make arrests. There's one last thing they will need. Just start getting arrest warrants signed and you go to jail like everybody wants. Everybody wants that. That is why we get the help and nobody will help you interfere. Nobody in 15 years has ever helped you interfere with us getting what you just said. Including, maybe we can do a FaceTime with somebody who looks like Dennis so that she thinks he's okay. When's the last time she saw him? We heard you say that. Because we told you give back what you took, fix the problems you caused, and get the fuck out of my life, or we will do it for you. We'll get more, and we did. And we have every day. See? Charles Perry thinks that you can take everything and everyone from a person, and they still owe you. I don't know what planet that's on, but I'm going to tell you right now, this indicates nobody agrees with you. Nobody. Okay, your conduct makes everybody want to barf. What does it mean that we have this, dum-dum? What does it mean that we have this, dumb David? What does it mean that we can get what you just said like that? Who's getting it from you to me? What are they going to do to you, and when are they going to do it? What's the one last thing they need to put you in jail, Charles? That is what everybody wants. That is why we get the help, not you. What is the one last thing we need? And you finally go to jail, and this is over, and you're gone, and your terrorism, and your creepy, and your yuck is gone with you. And all the problems you cause, over, because you're gone, and not around to cause them anymore, which is what everybody wants. What does it mean that we have this? Have somebody come tell me I can't do my job. Go ahead, do it. You never shut up about it. You make those phone calls constantly, so just come do it. Explain, sit me down, and explain why I can't do my job. You pose an imminent danger to society. Sir, you don't know what evidence was presented before what court to get what court order so that I can do my job, and it's none of your business. You don't interfere. You're interfering with my ability to care for my son and protect him from you. This guy said, see, you give it back, you get out, or we get more and do it for you. You give back what you took, you get out of my life, you fix the problems you caused, you fuck the hell off me, get off my back, or we will get more and do it for you. Or we will get more and do it for you. Or we got more. Look, we got even more. Oh, look, shit, we got even more. every day, all day long for 6 years. We've said the same thing, and then we get more. And then we say the same thing again, and then we get more. And you act like you don't know what it means that we have all this. You're stupid. Are you fucking inbred? That in 15 years you can't figure out what it means that we have this beforehand, not after? Let's get Dennis on a look-alike on FaceTime with her so she thinks he's okay. And then this guy's like, he can't even get out of bed by himself. Does his dad not know how bad this is? No, he hasn't seen him either. He sounds okay on the phone, but if you see him, you can tell he's not okay. He's in bad shape. He needs his mother to help him take care and protect him from us. And her guys know that. But they're all over him, and they're all over you. Or we wouldn't have this. Charles, every contact gets me more information just like this. Every contact, every problem, every loss. That is the crime, dumbass. That is the crime they're trying to stop. When you get caught, that should deter you. Freak show. How are you not embarrassed by what you are? How is it possible nothing embarrasses you? How is it possible you're not ashamed of what you are? And the creepy isn't embarrassing to you? How is it possible? I can't even begin to understand that. No one can. Everybody just wants you gone. That's why I get the help and you don't. Everybody wants you gone. You're creepy, you're murder, you're rape, gone. You're cheating, you're lying, your corruption, your sick hatred towards women, your sadism, your psychosis, gone. And you're stupid, gone. And you're broke, gone. Everybody wants that. Nobody's helping you. Nobody. George and Keith, who is getting me this information? Who is getting that from them to me? Do you know? Who got me these names? Do you know? Do you know what court order allowed us to get it? Do you know what court order are in place to try to protect life that you're not making any effort at all to protect? Whose custody is my son in? That hurt him to a point he can't even get out of bed by himself a year and a half into this. You tell me. You know everything. You tell me, hotshot. George and Keith. You tell me. Who's doing it? Who's doing the investigation? What's the one last thing they need before they can start making arrests? And a bunch of them. A fuck ton of arrests. A fuck ton of people go to jail with Charles because they helped him. Aiding and abetting. Accessory after the fact. Blah, blah, blah. Co-conspirator. Conspirator to commit blah, blah, blah. Whatever. There's so many crimes. Do I need to really list them all? RICO Act violations. In the RICO Act, the RICO Act is federal, but each state has a similar law that mirrors that federal law. So are they going to charge you in a state, or is it going to be federal? George and Keith, do you know? Judging, and do you know? No. You're not in the need to know. You don't get to know. But I have somebody come and tell me I can't do my job and protect my son, and Mr. Butt-in Bertha here, Connie, what's her face, who's got to interfere in everything, is interfering in my ability to protect my son and get him better. Does his dad know how bad it is? No, but I think he's starting to figure out somebody's not quite being straightforward with him because he's been in the hospital for a year and a half, and he's kind of going, well, why is he in the hospital so long? Maybe it's bad. You think? Because they keep making it worse. Because I don't have access to him to protect him from what you're trying to do. Because you threaten me. If she tries to go to get her kid, take the kid to Miami and let him die. Or kill her on the way. Or make her homeless and destitute and live out on the streets. Inhumane. If you did to a dog what you've done to me and my son, you'd go to jail for animal cruelty. And this case was opened on human rights violations. We keep saying that. You act like you don't understand what we're saying. You act like you don't know what it means that we have what we have. We don't think you do. We think you're not smart enough to understand what it means that we have the information we have. We think you're just not all there. You're just very mentally slow. All of you men who attack one woman. And you can't even fight a girl without help. It's very lame. It's very sissy. It's very pathetic. And it's extremely weak. And you're very stupid that in 15 years, you can't figure out what it means that we can get information like that. And nobody will help you interfere. The one part of my life you can't get to ruin is ruining you. And you asked for that because we told you 6 years ago, here's what we're going to do. When you started telling me you can go to jail, I'll find a way to put you back in jail and not let you out ever again. Or I'll buy you. And everybody went, oh, for God's sake. You don't take everything and everyone from a person and they think they owe you. You owe me. You're not going to buy me with my own money. Your threats are duly noted for the record. Again. They are. Every day you make them. And you make them every day. These are not vague threats. These are very specific threats to commit a specific harm against me. Trying to bully and coerce and intimidate. And I don't get intimidated. I get pissed off. In case you missed that. You're slow, so maybe I have to tell you. I don't get intimidated. I get pissed off. And I start swinging. I have help. They can get information from right up under your nose while you sit there and daydream and act like a buffoon. And embarrass yourself and not even know it. You're not even smart enough to be embarrassed. I don't even have words for that. No one does. So what did I tell her? Okay, this was filed in Judge Egan's court. What does it say, Judge Egan? You're something, lady. I don't even know. You are something. You're not going to like what the guys do. You're probably going to jail with them because you've harmed my child. What if it was your child? Nobody's harming your child. Charles Perry's kids are fine. I don't know if David has kids or not. So if I don't even know if he has kids, they're fine. We don't ruin people's lives unless they're criminals. Then we'll ruin the crime and the criminal. We don't just go get some kid and try to murder him and make it where they're so, injured they can't even get out of bed by themselves. My child is in the hospital. My child can't get out of bed, and you let that happen, Judge, and you let that happen, George and Keith. And so you've showed depraved indifference to human life, and you are inhumane. And now you're part of the problem, not part of the solution. And people are sick of the problem, and they want a solution. They want you people in jail. That's how come I can get information and you can't. And that's all there is to it. Now, this was on Judge Egan's court, and she didn't even bother to look at it. She doesn't give a shit about people's lives. She's fine with getting him killed. She got my son killed, very nearly. So did Steve Kunzwiller. He's just this. All of you people are the same. Every single one of you is the same. Just as skank as low-hanging fruit, bottom rung, degenerate, psychotic Charles Perry and David Robertson and Gregory and Lucius and the crowd of people everybody wants gone. They want you gone. And nobody's helping you. Nobody is helping you interfere. What is the one last thing they need before they start putting everybody in jail? What is the one last thing they need, Charles? You have all that money and that power, and you can't figure out what it means that we have the information we have, or what's the one last thing we need we want you to give to us so they can wrap this up and everybody goes to jail. What is it, Charles? You like butting in and interfering and you can't get that out of anybody? Uh-huh. Okay, what do I tell her? I'm worried for everybody's safety, people in my life, mine and people in my life, and I don't like the little nosy body Connie who interferes with everything and butts into stuff that doesn't concern him. And this was dated 2017. Judge Egan, you didn't bother to read it? That my son might be in danger? So I moved him to get him safe. It interrupted his education. He had to make all new friends in a whole new place. Then we had to move again, Judge Egan. Where are your kids? Are they safe? Yeah, we don't hurt people's kids. My child's in the hospital, not yours. What would you do if you were me? You'd probably go apeshit on somebody, wouldn't you? Okay, why would I be any different? Why would I be any different than any other mother whose child is in the hospital? Because human trafficker thugs tried to murder him again and again, and a judge let him do it. A judge is getting people killed. 2 judges are getting people killed. And a lot of cops are getting people killed. So what do we do with those people? What do we do with the monsters among us? Because it speaks to the kind of society we have if we allow monsters among us to just run rabid everywhere and murder and rape and rob and kill and steal and destroy. What does that say about you? It's embarrassing, ma'am. Extremely embarrassing that you've allowed yourself to go that low. That life doesn't matter to you at all. Human life just doesn't matter to you. So we get the help to put you in jail, and you guys can't get help to interfere with that. Now, what does it mean that we have what we have? You can tell you have no fucking idea, and that is not my problem. And we have no words for that because there's no excuse. In 15 years, you don't know what it means that we have what we have or why we get it. Just like that. And you can't interfere. Not a clue. Be embarrassed, Charles, because you should be. I can't understand for the life of me why you're not. You are the creepiest of the creepy. You creep out creepy people. Okay, most guys try not to be creepy. You try to be creepy. And you can't figure out why nobody wants to help you in 15 years? Come on with that. Come on with that. There's no excuse for that. None. Golly. Okay, so if we put this on the docket way back then in Judge Egan's court and she didn't bother to read it, I mean, there's going to be some problems with that. Look at this, Jerry Bender. What's the date on that? October 19, 2023. How much of my intel have you confirmed, Jerry, yourself, personally? You tell me. What's the one thing we need so that everybody starts going to jail? And there's no more problems, and there's no more creepy, and there's no more tragedy, and there's no more children, young men, young women who can't get out of bed. Because murderers, and rapists, and cheats, and liars, and corrupt cops, and corrupt prosecutors, and corrupt feds didn't fucking do their job, and they murdered him. Or tried to, over, and over, and over, and over, and interfered with people who could protect him. What's the one thing we need so that's all gone? That's what everybody wants, Jerry Bender. What does it mean that we have the information we have, Jerry Bender? We get it before, not after. It's different than any other victim. No other victim has this. What does that mean, Jerry Bender, Steve Kunstwiller, George and Keith? What does it mean that we have all that? Charles, if you contact me, I will fuck you up. I already am, and you're too dumb to get that. Be embarrassed by that, by how stupid you are. Guy, you're stupid. Come on. Every contact gets me more. I don't want to help you, and I don't want to hear from you. Nobody asked you what you think, because I don't want to hear it. Why can't you get that? That is part of the crime. Every contact gets me more, because it is part of the crime being investigated. Every contact, every problem, every loss. That means every day you invade my privacy. Every day you keep me from my kid. Every day you make me broke. Every day you steal from us. Every day you cause another problem and another injury and another loss. Every day you interfere. Connie, you need to get a life, boring. So, when we have this information and we can get it, and you can't get even one name to help you interfere, what does that mean? What does it mean? Can't even get out of bed. Does his dad not know how bad this is? I don't think he does. I think they've been lying to him. I don't think he's seen him either. He sounds okay when you talk to him on the phone, but when you actually see him, you can tell he's hurt, and he's hurt bad. And they've been lying to his dad about it all this time, but we think he's starting to figure out something's not right. You think? A year and a half in the hospital, and you just now figuring out something's not right? I mean, come on. It's a responsibility of a parent to protect their kid and figure out something's not right. So, I think there's more to it than that. I think that my ex-husband would move heaven and earth to protect his kid. And I think he got the same threats I got. If you try to protect your kid, we'll move him before you have a chance to get to him. And he'll end up in some dungeon in Miami where Miami PD won't help him or protect him. Or Baton Rouge, where Baton Rouge police don't give a shit about human life. And they show depravity of their minds. And they'll let him kill him. So what are you supposed to do as a parent? Listen, I'm not a cop, but I'm involved with law enforcement and I have a title. Judge Egan, Charles, David, you're interfering with my job. My boss wants me with my son to protect him from you. It is my assignment. It's been my assignment since April 20th. You interfere, you go to jail. It's not if, it's when. You steal from me, you go to jail. It's not if, it's when. Who's getting this information? Who's getting it? I can do what I'm doing. But have somebody come tell me I can't and confirm my intel. Go ahead, do it. Okay? Go ahead, do it. We just need to sit her down and explain she can't do this. I am doing this, so I can. You interfere, you go to jail. With Charles. Go to jail with him. We don't give a shit. We just want, everybody just wants us gone. All this shit gone, and this is over once and for all, and the bad people are no longer around to be bad. You're gone. And that's why we get the help and you do not. And you're stupid that you can't figure out what it means that we have the information we have. So you interfered with my college, and that cost you information on your compounds. You drew attention to people who didn't like it. Okay? You drew attention. What you did to my son and are continuing to do with my son, even more so. You're drawing attention to yourselves. And there are people that don't like that. And if it's you or them, it's not going to be them, it'll be you who goes to jail. And that's all there is to it. Okay? You either get that or you don't, and I really don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I said get my son here, home. You get my son home. On April 20th. You can afford a medical plane and the medical people that go on the medical plane and get him home. So get him home today. And you said no, and you've paid with intel every day, all day long, ever since. I told you I will not put up with your threats. Make them to my face, you sissy. Coward. You know, you're all tough guy when you can hide behind a phone and a computer and drugs and poison and bacteria and other people and a cop, a corrupt cop. Then you're all tough. You have to have help to fight one woman, all you men. Okay, you don't get any more pussy or sissy or pathetic than you people. It doesn't get any more, I mean, come on. You're attacking a girl, David. And you have to have help. And you have to hide behind stuff or other people. And you think that makes you tough and manly? No, that's not how that works. I'm sorry. That's not how the rest of the world sees you. They don't see it that way. You don't get what people think of you. None of you do. You don't understand what people say behind your backs. None of you do. You can tell. You have no idea. Not a clue. You have no idea what it means that we have all those names, and you have not even one in 15 years. How can anybody be that slow mentally? We don't know. We don't have words for that. How can anybody not know what it means that we have what we have? How can you not know what it means that we have all this? Okay? That you think you're going to have somebody go, this is work product. And you think you're going to have somebody come in here, you can't do your job. I'm here to interfere and obstruct justice. Again, you interfered with my life and you paid with intel. And you interfere with my finances and contracts and commerce with intent to coerce human trafficking delivery, and you pay with intel. And you poison me and you drug me and you pay with intel. And you take my money and you pay with intel. So you took everything and everyone, you owe me money for damages. And you're going to pay it or they'll take it when they put you in jail. It will cost you at least twice. You have my word, I promise. There's compounding interest daily, and that goes for me and my son. You caused him to be injured so bad he can't even get out of bed by himself. So you owe him money, and you will pay him, or they will take it. We'll go to court. We'll see you in court. Okay? There's no offer to cover up your crime. We're asking for the one last thing we need so that they wrap up the investigation and finally put your ass in jail. And the bad people can't be bad anymore. And what kind of society are we, George and Keith and Steve Kunzweiler and Jerry Bender, to allow you to run rampant, murdering and raping and robbing and stealing money from women and children? You know, my guys don't steal money from women and children. They won't take your bribe, will they? You've talked to some of them face to face, and you didn't know that's who you were talking to because they're really good at the undercover thing. So you didn't know. It's been 15 years. When and where did you talk to them? Do you even know? You don't. And you wouldn't. They're that good. Somebody told us, it's been about, 7-8 years ago, those people at the Blue Diamond said that they think Cynthia's people were in there because they were in there asking some questions about her, and and all this investigation and blah, blah, blah. And one of Charles Perry's guys said, no, that wasn't her people. And the guy goes, how do you know that wasn't her people? And he goes, because if it's her people, you're not going to know they're there. He was right. My people don't go in and just ask blunt questions. Okay, once they've signed some sort of a contract or they've got a court order, you are now an official informant and you're helping us. There's paperwork that has to be signed. Don't you think? Then they're going to know. Otherwise, they might be in a strip club watching everything you guys do, and you would know that's who that is. And that's who, you wouldn't have any idea. As good as I am at a sting up, and I can get people to say things they didn't mean to say without them realizing they said it, these guys are even better. Okay, they can get names. They don't take bribes because that would be stealing money from me and Dennis. And they don't steal money from women and children. Charles, I moved twice to get away from you. You're always where I am. Your kids are fine, mine aren't. You haven't lost home after home, car after car, all your clothes, everything and everyone. I have. You owe me. You will pay me. Or they'll take it and it'll cost you a lot more. And we will see you in court. And we're done talking. You need to fuck off. Or they'll do it for you. It's not if, it is when. Give me the one last thing we need. So they can wrap up the investigation and you're in jail. And the bad people are gone and can't be bad anymore. That's what everybody wants. That's what everybody wants. I get the help, not you. That's the evidence of it. What, dumb David, does it mean that I have all that? How much of it did I get after you guys interfered with my college? How much did I get after March 2020? How much did I get after what you've done to Dennis? And continue to do to him? You tell us. You know everything. You think you're smart. You think you're some sort of hotshot. But you don't know what it means that we have all this? And on the blog is 420 pages of never-ending scrolling of intel. Did you look back at March 2020 to see how much we got after March 2020? How much we got? Because you thought you had a choice. We said, you're going to give it back and you're going to get out. I don't know you a fucking thing. You're not going to bribe me with my own money. That indicates you think there should be some sort of quid pro quo and that I owe you something, and you think wrong. Are you getting help with information like this? You're not. Do you have our guys' names? No. Nobody agrees with you that I owe you something. I'm not going to be pimped out. I'm not going to be trafficked. I will kill you dead if you get anywhere near me. And if I don't, the guys will. Who are the guys, Charles? Who'd you talk to and when'd you talk to them and what'd you say? Okay? How much of this did we get after you did what you did to Dennis? And I said get his ass home so I can take care of him and you stay away from him. And you paid with intel. Every contact, every problem, every loss. Every contact, every problem, that is a crime they're investigating. So clearly it makes sense. Every contact, every problem, every loss would get me more. You posed imminent danger. Dennis is evidence of that. You pose an imminent danger. So there are court orders in place with that information in mind, that these people pose an imminent danger. So what we need to do is protect the integrity of the investigation without, and protect life as much as we possibly can without blowing the whole thing. So how can we best do that? You want to interfere? Interfere. I dare you. Go ahead, interfere. You interfere with everything. Why not that too? Give me the one last thing we need. Confirm whatever intel you want to confirm. Okay? I mean, it's just, how much did we get ever after you mess with my college? You interfered. That's all you do is interfere. And you can't figure out why nobody will help you interfere with putting a stop to your interfering? You're just not all there. I can't do stupid. I can't stand that shit. I can't do it. I can't be around it. Okay, some people have a lot of patience. God gave them a gift of being able to help stupid people and somebody who has a mental impairment. I can't. That's not my thing. Okay, I apologize if that offends people. You know what my thing is? Putting bad people in jail so they can't hurt anybody ever again. That's what I'm really good at. I'm not a cop, but I'm definitely... Charles, you know what my only assignment was when this started? Help the guy get elected so we can get to him easier than if he is sitting in a back office doing math all day as an accountant. He wants to be in the public, get him in the public. That was it. Okay, you're the one that dragged this on and on and on and on and drew attention to your whole organization and everything you people do. You're the weak spot. You're the weak link. You're the vulnerability of the entire organization that you have. The Brotherhood. You and David, both of you. Every contact, every problem gets me more. Because you did it to me. I have a whole team you pissed off. A whole damn team that you pissed off. Who's getting this information from you to me? I cannot do that alone. And while you sit on your fat asses and pretend nobody, or it's aliens from Roswell. Listen, Charles asked me this morning if it was Roswell Police Department investigating him. Okay, two things with that. I don't want to help you. I want for you to be gone. If I talk slowly, can you understand me better? I want my privacy, which I have the right to. You don't have the right to violate me and rape me and interfere and invade my privacy. You don't have the right to keep me from my children. I want my privacy, my children, my money that you owe me, and you're gone. I will never help you. You are a low-life, low-hanging fruit, bottom rung, nothing piece of shit trash. And you've tried to ruin me to take me down to your level where I will not go. And I have fought you off me, you fucking rapist, for a decade and a half. I rejected you and I left. And I moved twice to get away from you and to keep my son safe from you. And it did interrupt his education twice. We had to make all new friends twice. We had to start all over again twice. And you are always where I am asking me questions you have no business asking me. I don't every contact of any kind. So when you ask for information, I get the help, not you. I get the information and you do not. And yet you keep asking. Who is that stupid? Who is that fucking stupid? To his own, what did that guy say? What kind of man humiliates himself like that? To no avail, and even to his own detriment, for that long and that much money. That is not a man. They made themselves weak doing this. I'm a businessman. Everything is about evaluations. Organizational valuations. And yours goes up every time you get some of this. And theirs goes down. It takes their organizational valuation way down every time sensitive information gets to the wrong hands, and that would be your hands, law enforcement. You don't want sensitive information getting to the wrong hands. If one person being broke or bothered makes that happen, in my organization, not more than once. I'd make sure that person is never broke and bothered again. You leave that one alone. Just leave it alone. It is not worth the fight. Pick your battles. But here's the thing. That's exactly why I don't do business with sex perverts. Because they have absolutely no control over themselves. And at the risk of everything and the cost of all, they got to scratch that itch, and there is no place for that in business. To his own detriment, he does it anyway. To his own detriment, he does it anyway. He doesn't give a shit how much it costs him, or Tony, or David, or the other investors. He doesn't care. Long as he can harass, as long as he can threaten, long as he can peep and creep, long as he can rape, kill, steal, cheat, lie, and go rub one out. And again, it's sex offending, so I apologize for the vulgar language, but I'm talking about what a sex offender does. And here's the motivation and the things that drive someone who can't control themselves and is committing a sex crime. Okay, so it's going to be vulgar. Peeping Tom is a sex crime. Stalking is arguably, in some cases, a sex crime. Murder is sometimes arguably a sex crime, motivated by a sex thrill, like BTK. And what's the difference between you and BTK? I'm not seeing much, not much at all. You got some MO differences, and barely that. Barely that. How many dead bodies are buried out at those compounds? George and Keith, did you look? I don't think you even looked, did you? That's the thing. Everybody just won't look. TPD won't take evidence and look. Judge Egan won't look. But guess what? There are people looking at the evidence. So we find it. Then we take it into a court. And then we tell the judge we need a court order to do XYZ so we can maintain the integrity of the investigation and so we can keep people from getting dead. Stay sexy, don't get murdered. That kind of deal. We need to make sure people don't get murdered, Judge Egan. Why don't you? Do you give a shit? How could you just not care about getting people killed? What about you, TPD, Jerry, Steve? How can you just not care about getting people killed? And about a young man who's 26 who can't even get out of bed by himself, and then you keep him with the people who did that to him and away from the people who protect him. We're protecting him now, even if I'm not with him, as best we can. Because there are times we found out they were doing XYZ that will kill him. And we said something, and so they had to stop. Where were you, Judge Egan? Where were you, Jerry? Where were you, Steve? Where were you, George and Keith? You don't give a kid. You don't give a fuck. It's not your kid. Your kids are fine. Your kids are fine. Charles has a thrill getting both sides pissed off at him. And if you don't believe that, then why would he do things every day that get that result? The results at the end of the day are he does things to me and it pisses my people off. So we get intel and we find out what their next plan is. Because they plan stuff all day long. 10, 20 things they're going to do to me. And then we find out and I know what to do. Or it gets on Facebook. With a blog or both. Or it's emailed or texted. So, or I know what not to do or what to do. Right? It's this way. It's been this way 15 years. All day long. Every day. So when we find out, then his people get pissed off. Now, at the end of the day, everybody's pissed off. And he gets a thrill out of that. And if he didn't, he'd stop. Because that's the only result he's gotten for 15 years. That's it. Nothing else. It's here. What does it mean that we have it? Just how many times you want me to go? I told you so, I did say. We told everybody that's what they're doing. Our information is detailed and specific. This is not vague stuff. This is specifics. What does it mean that we have that, dumb David? Do you know? You've had 15 years to figure out what it means that we have this. You don't know, do you? You can tell by the way you act. You have no idea. Not my problem. And there's no excuse for that, by the way. So, this guy decided at the cost of everything and the risk of all, he's got to scratch that itch. And there's no place for that in business. They're not looking at how this is significantly reducing their overall organizational valuation every time you get one of these things. And yours goes way up, by the way. Yours goes way up. Hers does too. They don't think of that? They can't add and subtract. I thought you said he was an accountant. Clearly not a good one. If he's not factoring that in. Charles, if you contact me, I'm going to get more. He just did it again. I don't want to hear from you. So anyway, he's asking me, is Roswell Police Department involved? And to the first thing I say, you ask me for information, I'm going to get information, not you. I don't want to help you. You act like you think I do, or you wouldn't ask me that. You're a fucking idiot. I've never helped you. I want you in jail. I want my privacy, my kids and my money, and you're gone. You're in jail. No more problems, no more broke, no more tragedy. No more loss, no more nothing. You're gone. You're not around to cause all that anymore. No more harassment, no more peep and creep, no more rape. You're gone. That's what everybody wants. That's why we get the help, not you. Dumb. Why are you so stupid? I can't deal with it. He has Huntington's disease, which causes hallucinations, paranoia, delusion, psychosis, and impaired cognitive reasoning. For him, 2 and 2 is not 4. It's purple. But the thing is, he's got all these guys helping him, and they're all like that. They're all senile. None of them know what it means that we have this. They're all that stupid. In 15 years, how can you not know what it means that we have all this? So, also, the other thing is Roswell Police Department does not have the capacity to do what we do. And that's just pretty obvious. I mean, that's not rocket science. You ought to be able to figure that one out on your own. Without having to, ask me a question you're not entitled to know. I don't want to help you. I want to ruin you. I want my kid home and my money back and my privacy back, all of which I have the right to, by the way. And you're in jail. And you don't ever bother me again. By the way, when you're in jail, I'll never be broke again. Just so you know. And I won't be pimped out, and I won't be forced to lie, and I won't be raped, and I won't be tortured or murdered. You're the stick, they're the carrot. They're the nice alternative to your cruelty and your mean. And they're not creepy, nothing creepy about them. You repulse and you revolt everybody. And you just can't get that. You're just too stupid to understand something that simple. So, have whoever it is come see me and just sit me down and explain why I can't do my job and watch what the guys do to you. By the way, they wanted to also make it very clear, if something happened to me where you were successful in murdering me or kidnapping me or I just died, they're still there and they will ruin you. Only then they'll be really pissed, so they'll go at you harder than ever. They'll ruin you either way. Either way. They already are. If you're too dumb to know that, that's not my problem. And there's no excuse for that. You already have consequences to the things you're doing. And you not a clue. Not one bit embarrassed. How is it possible you're not embarrassed? No one understands how in the world the things you do don't embarrass you. And that's the reason everybody doesn't do what you do. We have no way to explain how goofball that is. That you're not embarrassed by the things you do. And that you can't understand that there's a reason everyone doesn't act like you. And that no normal person can even think this shit up you people do. It makes the hair on the back of people's necks stand on end when we tell them what you do to me all day. And how you spend your time all day and your money. It's like, I can't even imagine. I cannot fucking imagine it. So, you're going to give back what you took, and you're going to fix the problems you caused, and you're going to get the fuck out of my life, or they'll do it for you. And it's not if, it's when. And it's not up to you. Not up to you when we get this. And if you can't figure out in 15 years why we get the help and you don't, and what it means that we have all this, we're not real worried about you figuring out the who and the how. We don't want you to know the who and the how. So when you ask me questions like, is it Roswell Police? I said we don't want you to know the who and the how, didn't I? You ask for information, I get the info. Because it's very astoundingly cruel that you would ask me for help. It's astoundingly cruel after what you've done that you would ask me for help. You get anywhere near me, I will kill you dead. I don't go where you are, you're coming where I am. And if I can't get you, the guys will. So, I don't know what delusion you think. I thought I would go, oh, you killed my son, okay, I'll just forgive you. He can't even get out of bed by himself because of what you did to him, oh, okay, I'll just forgive you. You murdered my dad, okay, I'll just forgive you. You forget who you're talking to, you stupid little bitch. You forget who you're talking to. I mean, while you're sitting there daydreaming and pretending we're getting all this, you sit there and bullshit yourself, we get all this. And not one bit embarrassed by what you do, huh? Whatever. I mean, it's just, I don't even know what to say to that. I don't understand it. I don't think like a whack job, so. And that question comes to the guys all the time. Why is he doing this? What kind of whack job does that? How did they even think that up? And the guys are like, we're not whack jobs, so we couldn't tell you. You're going to have to ask him. He's the whack job. You ask him how he thinks that shit up. Weird shit he does. He's a weirdo. I mean, golly, he's weirdo. And it's embarrassing. And he's not one bit embarrassed. And he gets caught. He just doesn't give a shit. And it's costing him and his investors a fuck ton of money. And he just doesn't care. He just does it anyway. We were like, oh my God, wow. Because this should deter the crime, you'd think. That's the intent of us telling you, here, look, we just got this. That's the intent, is to deter the crime. He's not. He's undeterred. He's that wacky Jackie. We don't know who the hell would act like that, because we're normal people and we don't think like that. And most people don't think like that. So, I mean, you'll have to ask him. He's the wacky Jackie. Ask him why he thinks like that. See if he can tell you. We're not sure he could even tell you. Him and David both. Looney Tune stuff these people do. Looney Tune. So we're not Looney Tune. We can't understand why they do that or how they thought that up. And because we're not, we're normal people. Our brains don't think like that. They're wired right. Theirs aren't. Their brains are dysfunctional, to say the least. They're psychotics. So you'll have to ask them why they do that shit all day, all damn day. That's all they do. Looney Toony, whack job stuff. No normal person could think up if they had to. So we don't know why they do that or how they thought that up. Go ask them. And there you go. So we're done talking. I told you to get my son home. Now, we told you that in April. And you didn't, so you paid with Intel. We told you to give back what you took from me and Dennis, pay us for the damages and the injuries you've caused, and get the fuck out of my life. Get the fuck out of my life. Or, Charles, if you contact me, I'm going to get more intel to ruin you with. That is part of the crime. And you just did it again. You literally just did it again. When you type in my phone, I'm going to get you. I'm going to make you go. Please understand that goes right into the court. They sit there and record it and they take it to court. He's threatening her again, look. Okay? The guys are in my phone, recording everything you do. And every copy thereof. Because it's my phone, you cloned it. And you just contacted me again. And I just told you, again, duly noted for the record, you contacted me again. And that is the crime. Okay, I won't help you. No one is going to help you. Nobody has. We told you give it back and get out, and the guys will call you. And they'll answer the questions for you that they can answer. And that's it, and that's all. And you said no. You said no, so they said no to you. They're not going to help you. Nobody's going to help you. In 15 years, they have not helped you. What does it mean that we have this? Stupid. What does it mean that I have all that? Okay, when you figure that one out, things might go better for you, okay? If you can figure out what it means that we have all this. I don't think you ever will. If you can't figure that out in 15 years, you're not going to figure it out. You're that stupid. Neither will David. He's that stupid. That's not my problem. This is the final thing right here. Okay, also, these conversations of, we got to get her into a hotel. Let's make her live in a hotel again. I was in a hotel. I was living in a hotel, and I was working in a strip club. And you caused a problem, so I had to quit. You interfered with contracts and commerce repeatedly, and so you're going to be you're going to have to pay some damages for that as well, and there's going to be criminal charges associated with that at some point, I'm told. What's the one last thing they need to do to pull the trigger and start getting arrest warrants signed, and you go to jail, and we're done. No more bad people doing bad things. What's the one last thing we need? Okay? You can't even figure out what it means that we have what we have, so we're not real worried about you figuring out much of anything. But we'll see you in court. We're done talking.